All right, what's up, everyone? Let's try another scenario. Let's try Hong Kong. Can't write data into database. This is a fixed type of scenario, and you have about 20 minutes to fix it. Let's spin up the machine and see and read the problem description. Your objective is to be able to insert a row in an existing Postgres database. The issue is not specific to Postgres, and you don't need to know details about it, although it may help. Postgres information, it's a service that listens to a port, blah, 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 and writes to disk in a data directory, location of which is defined in the data directory parameter of the configuration file. In our case, Postgres is managed by systemd as a unit with name Postgres SQL. Okay, the test is this. Let's immediately try the test. Let's actually try the test. So what I actually learned from these SAT server scenarios is that um, you should read the problem description really carefully because it has lots of clues and hints already. It says you don't need to know details about it. So the problem is not necessarily with changing config files of the Postgres, although it's given here, but let's see where it actually leads to. So you probably will not need to modify Postgres config files itself, okay? But you will have to manage something else. Like usually in case of Linux, there is a typical sysops thing like sysops task like checking the disk space, disk size. It actually mentions disk. It writes disk in the data directory. So we might actually have to look at the disk, right? Let's see. So it's saying error connection to server. Is the server running locally and accepting connections on that socket? Okay, let's see if the server is running at all. We're using PostgreSQL because it's mentioned here, right? The systemd is managing the service name by PostgreSQL. It says active but exited. Why is it exited? Usually in this case, I start looking for like errors, like okay, PostgreSQL and start job for unit has finished successfully. Failed with result protocol. What is it saying? Can't open main PD, no such file directory. OPT PG data main is not accessible or does not exist. So this is the first error that I see. This is my systemctl, and this is the first error, right? OPT PG data main is not accessible or does not exist. Why? Let's actually try to go here, and indeed main folder does not exist, which is kind of strange. Let's see, there is a configuration file. I actually want to look into this. So it writes that it writes to disk in the data directory, which is defined in data directory. Let's actually see what we have here in this config file. Where is this data directory? Yeah, data directory is opt pg data main, and like I just mentioned, there is no main. Why is there no main? Why? Because this folder was not created or what? This is strange. There is, let's see, what do we have here? Why? What's wrong here? Why is it not working? Let's think about it. There is a, okay, there is a command that we can use that shows which are, like, it shows the block sizes, which are mounted or not mounted. So it's showing the mounted devices, right? Along with these labels like fs type, label, UUID. So we have XFS type, file system type, and it's NVMe 0 and 1, and it's not mounted anywhere. Here we have some numbers which shows that these are mounted, right? NVMe 1 and 1, these things are mounted. So we should probably try to mount this device as it is the only one available. NVMe 0 and 1, and we want to mount it into PG data. Let's try to restart the let's try to restart it, and let's see the status. And it's still active exited. Why? Let's do journal ctl tail. can't open PID, blah blah blah, starting. Why? It's still not mounted or what? LSBLK minus F. Wait, it's actually mounted, but is there... Oh wait, there is the main. So finally we managed to mount it. We restarted it, and there is some file names. ls minus L. Let's see. Wait a second. We have some file 1 BK, file 2 BK, file 3 BK. These kind of things. Okay. Is there should be probably like there should be a config file that shows where by default the devices are mounted, to which disks, to which folders. To do this, I actually asked the ChatGPT, what is mount config settings files in Linux? Where is this stored? And it's saying the primary file used for this purpose is etc fstab, file system table. It contains static information about file systems and their mount points. Yeah. So before you actually have your folder, you need to have two things. You need to have a mount point, and you need to have a file system. It's used by the mount command to mount file system automatically at boot time, and by the umount command to unmount file systems. Okay, let's actually check out these fstab, and we have xvdb, not the one that we just mentioned. We want this to be NVMe 0 and 1 because that's the free. This was the free device, right? This was the free device. So let's actually reload the entire daemon so that the new settings become active. Now let's actually restart the Postgres, and let's see the status. Active exited. -p error. Failed to start PostgreSQL cluster main. PT pg data. So there is the main. There is actually the main folder, and there is file b1k lsbk. Okay, so there is probably something. Oh wait, we have 8 gigabytes here, and we have 8 gigabytes here. So it's 100% used, and there is no space left for the main folder. So PostgreSQL cannot start properly because all of this stuff is occupied with these files, right? So we are in, yeah. Let's see. We have file 1 bk. So these are huge files, and they're occupying lots of space. We probably should just delete them. Yeah, now we just have the main. Now let's do the start PostgreSQL. So now this should probably properly boot up and properly do all the things necessary in the optp data directory, because it has all necessary space. Yeah, started. Yeah, see, there is no errors here. It started. Yeah, cluster main is working. Okay, now finally let's see if we can run it. So this should return insert 01. Yeah, bingo. It should pass. Perfect. 8 minutes 23 seconds.